I hope you are ready, because this is an exclusive look into what is the most complete metallic paint range ever made. Hello fellow Hearts of the Blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the first video featuring True Metallic Metal, the upcoming system of metallic paint created by Vallejo. In this sponsored video we will take a first look into the new range, a massive system of 80 paints dedicated exclusively to painting metallics. This is not a review as I don't have the full range yet, but I was so excited about this range that I helped to develop that I asked Vallejo permission to show it to you ahead of release. I don't think I am exaggerating if I tell you this range is revolutionary. No one has ever designed a range this big and well thought out to paint metallics. I really think we are at the verge of a true metallic metal revolution. That sounds extremely exciting, so let's get cracking. This is the extent of what I am actually allowed to show you of the range. The range is obviously much bigger. It's 80 paints in total, which is absolutely crazy, and it's subdivided into 20 tonal families, so 20 hues and 4 paints for each hue, as you can see here. Each tonal family is divided into a light, a base, a shade, and an airbrush version of the base color. Both light and base are metallic pigment based, and the shade is a transparent paint. As you can see, I am starting with the base version of Sapphire Blue, a beautiful blue metallic paint, and I use the airbrush to do my base coat, but as you can see, you can just use the brush just as well. The paints work really nicely off of your wet palette, and you don't need much thinning at all. Let me showcase my wet palette for you. This is the dilution I'm using, so not much at all. Really undiluted, because these paints level out really well. And again, the colors between the airbrush and the base version are perfectly matched. For me, where this range shines is in its BSL system. These paints can be used in many different ways. We could just do a classic painting where I do some shading and then I highlight using this paint with glazing and layering, whatever method you prefer. But they are also designed to be used by the very novice painters with simple methods. For example, dry brushing. I'm going to be quite heavy with this initial dry brush because I'm going to use the shade as a unifying layer, and once the shade is dry, I'm going to reapply some highlights. I think this is by far the best method of using these paints if you are a beginner or just want to have a really nicely painted army. The range is so massive that any color you wish to have, you will have. This is a wet dream, for example, for Alpha Legion players or Horus Heresy players in general, where the armies are more metallic. There is also an ultramarine color version of this paint, and it works really well. The shade paints are an evolution of Express, but they are made so they don't dry matte and they preserve the shine of the metallic paints. If you want to thin them down because you find the standard version way too intense, there isn't a medium, you just have to use water. Water works just as fine. What I'm going to do here is just apply the sapphire blue shade over my armor. My idea is to paint this guy as a metallic crimson fist, which is going to be so cool. You can see how the shade tints incredibly well the metallic paint underneath, which, because it's already blue, makes for an incredibly intense metallic blue color. while that shade dries, we can paint the fists. And for this I'm going to use the ruby red family. And you can see how well the ruby red base covers over blue, which is like the worst possible case. Look at that. It's just a beautiful color. And again, minimal thinning required. These paints are designed to self-level extremely well. And you can already see that the shade we applied isn't really killing the metallic shine at all. I will leave this to fully dry and I will do another coat of the red just to make sure it's perfectly even, and then I will catch you again. For the fist, I'm going to show you a different way of using this paint. I'm going to start with a shade, using the shade from the ruby red, which I'm going to thin down using 1 part shade, 1 part water, because I don't want such an intense color. Alternatively, you could just do a recessed shade and be more careful, but I want this to be an easy process, so I'm not going to. While that shade dries, I'm going to do the final touches on the blue armor. And for this, I'm just going to take the light version of sapphire blue and do a simple highlight. This final highlight is obviously optional, but I really think it's worth it. This is an equivalent to what I do in my zero skill series of videos. I'm just going to pick up the most pronounced edges, like here on the knee pad, and that kind of stuff. You can see how easy they are to apply. It's very simple to do edge highlights with them. They are really a joy to work with. Why don't we finish our fists? And for this I'm just going to use the light version of ruby red. If you wanted to do to a stage, you could just use a mix of the base and the light version, but for this simple video I'm just going to do a simple edge highlight. And as you can see, they are perfectly color matched, so you don't end up with a weird looking mini. Highlighting metallic paints, especially these weird colored ones, has never been easier. Just look at how good that fist looks with one highlight. Yeah, let's do the other one. I'm so happy with this. You can see the final miniature right now on screen. I decided to black out the remaining details so you can have a cleaner view of the new range finish. While I was at it, I also decided to play around with some of the other BSL triads. The gold is done using the Imperial Gold line, and the dark metal is done with the aged metal BSL triad. Remember, this was also using what I consider a very basic approach technique-wise. In further videos I will be delving into this range deeper and exploring all its possibilities. Stay tuned because I think you are going to love this. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget that if you like my videos and want to help me make them, you can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below and in the pinned comment of this video. Share and like this video, but most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. Patrons and members allow me to do all the cool videos that I want to make, and most importantly, they allow me to keep releasing videos for free here on YouTube. Perks include access to an amazing Discord community full of lovely people, access to many more Patreon exclusive videos, and also private one-on-one online classes. help me and join the list of the coolest persons in the planet, including Chase, 911 Horses, Adam Carroll, Adam Foots, Adam Thaxton, Agon David, Alex McDonough, Alan Hansen, Alvaro Presno, Andrew Dyer, Andrei Mishenko, Antoine Darbon, Avery Swanson, Bartosz Badensky, Betty Ostov, Big Beer 83, Bowlesley, Bransky, Charles Armitage, Chester Ross, Chris G, Chris Padmore, Christopher Waterford, Kieran O'Murthile, Colby Roof, Copper, Corey Trickler, Chris Talios, Dan Mako, Daniel Pitch, Daniel Ramin, Darcy Farrar, Dave Griffiths, David Smith, Derek VW, Dr. Cuthaber, Dr. V, Eamon Patton, Emily Queen of Sloths, Emaren Stewart, Felix Franke, Fergal, Philip Weka, Francis Harbord, Garrett Smith, G-Force, Good Old Boys Podcast, Hamish Donald, Hendrik, Hyde Anderson, Ian, Jacob Morris, Jake Staines, Jason Weber, Jay Jones, Jimmy McL, John W, John Schutt, Jorge Pardo Serrano, Jude, Justin May, Just Rex, Carl Jones, Kevin Marshall, Kevin Schulars, Killaman21, Lafarel, Leonard Lindemann, Lugubrious Cramhorn, Mailbox 2112, Mark Jarvis, Mark Watson, Matt Wallis, Matthew Lang, Michael Borrow, Michael Holtz, Nasser Luta, Natius Maximus, Nicholas David, Oscar Jonathan Thunberg, Pablo Cuesta, Painted by Tainted, Palace Cat, Raybots, Richard St. Pierre, Robert Fuller, Robert Macmillan, Roger Nilsson, Sebastian A, Spicy Joe, Squarewave, Stavros Stavro, Stephen K, Stirling Coulter Hayward, Swallox, Tyrek, Terry Denham, 3Gs, Tristan Lavo, Tristan Leonard, Venture, Jeven Dombrava, Soil CFF, Oscar Therain Bebia, and Stephen Zimmerman. And as for me, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!